Hey besties, so if you are anything like me, then you know what it means to have goals you want to achieve. You would most likely have to-do list, tips for productivity. A lot of people have asked me how I'm able to manage my time. And most times when I get such questions, I do not know what to say because I don't even consider myself as a time manager, but I consider myself as a good energy manager. So in today's video, I would explain the difference between time management and energy management. I would also talk about signs that you need this video and my tips for ensuring that you maximize your energy. Now, if you are familiar with to-do lists, you would obviously know what time management means, because it just means you having particular time for particular task. So you would most likely have things planned, and for some people they take this to-do list to the extreme, such that they even have to-do lists for when they take their bath, when they use the toilet, when they exercise, every single thing. And that's something I used to do, but what happened was it made me feel very depleted. It made me feel extremely tired, and times when I'm not able to achieve those to-do lists, I feel unproductive. I feel like that day was just wasted, when in actual fact that's not true. Now, I learned energy management when I became very conscious about protecting myself, conscious about self-care, and that's when I realized that I was literally too hard on myself. And if you're anything like who I used to be, and yes, who I still am to an extent, because when you are so bent on managing time, by the way, there is nothing wrong with managing time, whatever terminology suits you. However, if your focus is always on, I must do this today, if not, that day was wasted, I must if it is working for you, then obviously good for you, but that was not working for me. It was a very rigid way to see life and see productivity, and I found a better way. Now, the signs that you are struggling with energy management are: you're constantly feeling overwhelmed, you're constantly feeling exhausted, you feel unmotivated, you go through your day feeling like you've not really achieved anything after having interactions with some people or some things. Those are all signs that your energy has been depleted. And I know this because this is something that has happened to me countless times. In fact, currently, anyone around me would attest to the fact that my energy level is very low. I put it on Instagram some days ago that my social battery has gone from 70% to about 10% because I just feel so burnt out. And you know how we think burnout is just for workplace situations? No, it isn't. Sometimes you can get burnt out in your personal life. You can get burnt out after interactions with other people. Anything can just trigger you feeling burnt out. And to prevent this feeling of burnout is to manage your energy. Our society has romanticized and glamorized this hustle culture. In fact, a lot of us have bought into that culture. Let me show you a TikTok video I made.
I'm a hustler. You don't need to ask a hustler where she is getting her money. I'm a big hustler. I work hard for my money.
Okay.
I work very hard for my money. So you don't have the right to ask me where I get my money. The only person that can ask me now and I'll answer is sister. Because sister is a hustler. She works for her money too. So we need to create ideas together. We need to exchange mindset, business mindset together. Not you. Because if I tell you now I'm wasting my time, you just want to monitor my money. How my money come and go. So
Okay.
don't disturb me again.
And now, whilst the crux of the TikTok video is the fact that yes, I'm doing quite a lot of things, hustle culture is really not good. Hustle culture is something I decided not to be a part of. Obviously, in that video, I used the word hustle because that's what the audio sound said. However, I'm very conscious about living a soft life. And when I say soft life, I literally mean soft life. And soft life to me does not mean I will not work, I will not do anything. No, what it means is I will do things from a place of rest. All these hustle, struggle. That's not the kind of life that I ever want to live. And I do not believe that as human beings, that's our purpose in life. Like, I'm not supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be. I am a human being, not a human doing. So for me, I'm very conscious about how to manage my energy, because even in times when I was not conscious, the end result was I felt very depleted. I reached rock bottom and I had to start afresh from the scratch. because when you're feeling really overwhelmed, your body is giving you the signals. Our body always speaks to us. Once your body is actually feeling extremely overwhelmed, extremely tired, that's a sign to you that you are not managing your energy well. And the best way, in my opinion, for you to be productive is for you to actually manage your energy levels. So this leads me to the first tip I have about how to properly manage your energy. Now I have 5 tips. So the first tip is learn to listen to your body and rest. As I said earlier, your body is always speaking to you. There is a book called The Body Keeps the Score, and the book is centered around trauma, but it also talks about how our body literally keeps the score. Our body feels our emotions. It feels when we are doing too much and we need to rest. A lot of us have bought into this idea that we don't want to be seen as lazy. In fact, I do not know who invented the terminology of laziness. A lot of us that actually don't want to feel lazy are people that are not lazy at all, because the truly lazy people don't even care about being lazy. If you're the kind of person that you have goals, you try your best to achieve them, but maybe right now you're feeling a little tired, that is okay. And in fact, it's okay to prioritize your task such that you will not reach that level where you feel so tired that you burn out. If you listen to your body, you will know when to rest. Your body always speaks to you. There was one time, I think last month, when I just felt like sleeping all day. It was the weekend, I had nothing planned, but I found it very difficult to make myself sleep. And it's just because of some limiting beliefs that we have regarding sleep, regarding rest, where we feel, oh, if I rest for too long, then that means I have become lazy, or that means I'm less productive. But rest or sleep is a huge part of productivity. In line with this hustle culture, I remember when I was younger, I used to hear motivational speakers talking about how they are wealthy, and most of them glamorize the fact that they sleep for just 4 hours. And I know when I was even younger, it was not cute to me. You sleeping for 4 hours and coming to tell us that that's how you got wealth is not cute to me. It never would be. You can create wealth and have a sensible sleep pattern. Sleeping for 4 hours over long periods of time is not healthy, it is not cute, and I cannot be a part of that kind of culture at all. Obviously, there are some times when, for whatever reason, you may have shorter time of sleep in that day, but that should be a one-off event, not something that is continuous and part of your routine, and definitely not something you need to glamorize and tell the whole world to show that, oh, you are wealthy. Because there is something I always tell myself, and that is, my life gets to be easy. My life gets to be filled with abundance and ease. And maybe that is because I've tapped into my femininity and feminine energy. I do not know if that is it, but I realized that when I am in this zen mood, this relaxed mood, I actually achieve more things. I get more things. I have better relationships with people. Things just make more sense to me. It just feels like more abundance would come. But when I'm in that state of hustle, constantly rushing, constantly overwhelmed, overworked, at the end of the day, I feel bad. I feel quite upset and irritable. And the consequence of that is it impacts every single thing I do and every person I interact with. So it's important to listen to your body and take that rest. If you've reached the point where you've literally hit rock bottom, such that you're very overwhelmed, it is okay to take a break from everything. It's okay to take a break from social media, even from your family and friends. If you need to give them the heads up so they know that you're actually fine, but you just need a little break, then that can be very helpful. Now, the second tip is limit the number of active projects that you have to take on. Now, sometimes we think we are superhumans, we think we are robots, and I'm very guilty of this. Only you have a 9 to 5, you have 79 businesses. Obviously, that's an exaggeration, but you have a lot of things doing. Now, it's important to learn to prioritize your timing. If you are doing way too much, it can overwhelm you. For instance, last year, I was schooling. At the same time, I had my 9 to 5 weekly. I also had this YouTube channel. I had one-on-one consultations with you, my besties. I still had my fashion brand. Now I had to look at everything I had, and I knew that it was too much. I would feel very overwhelmed. I decided to take a break from one, and it turned out to be my fashion brand, and that was last year. I took a break from my fashion brand for a year to focus on finishing my studies and doing my other businesses and career. Now obviously that came at a cost, but the good thing was it helped me not just graduate but graduate well. It also helped me build this channel. It helped me build my other businesses. Guess who is back doing that fashion brand? Me. I just took a break. I did not quit. Obviously, depending on your circumstance, there are some situations where you may need to just quit some things. You may need to scale down on some things. If you've been doing something and the return on investment is not making sense, then it is okay to actually scale down on the active projects you have on. Currently, for instance, with my one-on-one calls, previously I left my calendar open such that anyone that wants to book the call can just book the call. But now I've put a cap. I have a limited number of slots I can take in a month. Now, if in that month you don't book in, you are going to join the waiting list. What that does for me is it gives me the opportunity to focus on the limited amount of people that I've already booked for the month, and I give them my best instead of me being depleted because I have a lot of people that want to have a one-on-one call with me, because I am only one person and it's only 24 hours I have. By the way, if you want to book a one-on-one call with me, I'll be dropping the link in the description box for basically all my services. Now, I can't tell you a particular number of active projects you should do per time because you know better. As I said, your body would always speak to you. When you are feeling overwhelmed because you have too many things to do, your body will speak to you. Now, if you are able to delegate some things, then obviously you may need to pay someone else to do what you need to do, and that's okay, because in that instance you've actually delegated. You don't have that as an active project. So it's up to you to decide and be introspective about what you can handle per time. For me, I realized that when I have less active projects, I am happier. And one thing I've learned about productivity is when you feel good, when you are energized about what you're doing, you become more productive. And this is something I learned from Ali Abdaal, and it talks about being happy doing what you are doing. And that is such a game changer, which is why I'm focusing on energy management and not time management. If you are happy doing what you are doing, if your energy level is high doing what you're doing, you'll be so surprised how productive you would be in the long run, as opposed to having countless active projects and you are unhappy about everyone. Now, in line with this, my third tip is for you to intentionally do an energy audit. Now, what's an energy audit? It's you being intentional and conscious about your energy levels throughout the day. Some of us don't even know our energy levels. For me, I know that early in the morning, I have higher energies. Like, I want to do a lot of things. Because I know that, I maximize that period of time. For instance, I'm filming this video right now. The time is 11 a.m. I know that it's still morning and my energy is quite high. That's why I'm filming this video. Now, if I film this video in the evening, in fact, I would not even want to film the video. That's the truth. However, in the evening, when I feel tired, I would rather be editing the video, because that time I can just relax somewhere and just be editing. It is easier for me. But now that I'm doing something that requires me showing up in front of a camera, I know that my energy is quite high in the morning as against in the evening. Some people wake up in the morning and they are so grumpy, they are so upset. Now, I cannot relate because that is not me. In the morning, I'm happy. So what that means is I would prioritize my activities in the morning. So ensure that in the day you keep track of your energy, and not just about the time of the day being morning, afternoon or evening, but also on certain activities. Some activities make you feel very happy, some activities make you feel sad, some make you feel neutral. Now, there are some activities that make you feel sad, but you just have to do it. For instance, instance, if you are currently doing a 9 to 5 and you just need to do it to earn enough money to fund whatever lifestyle or career you want to do, it may not make you happy, but it's something that you just have to do because you need that money. If you've done that energy audit, you would know that doing that activity of the 9 to 5 would reduce your energy. The day you are doing that 9 to 5, you would minimize the amount of other activities you put in that day. That way, you are able to at least focus on that 9 to 5 as against having the 9 to 5 that already depletes your energy, then doing other things that you know will take a lot of your energy. So once you are able to audit that your energy, it could help you. And sometimes auditing your energy could just be you asking yourself, Ada, how are you right now? How are you feeling right now? A lot of us don't really ask ourselves that question, and that is wrong, because you should be constantly checking in with yourself, because you are going to live with yourself forever. So why not be intentional about knowing how you feel per time? Which leads us beautifully to the fourth point, which is maximize your high energy levels. I already mentioned it when I talked about energy auditing, but I will talk more about it. When you know your energy picks up, do more activities during that time. In my 9 to 5, for instance, something happened. So I usually work for like 8 hours and I have 30 minutes break in between. Now, I don't know what happened. Someone just changed my rota, and instead of me having my break like 4 hours into my shift, the person put my break 3 hours into my shift. In fact, some days the person put my break 2.5 hours into my shift. So let me explain. For instance, assuming I work 9 to 5, the person put my break time as 12 o'clock. So I go to work 9 o'clock, 10, 11, 12. 3 hours later, I'm going on break. Now, if I did not understand my energy levels, I would not say anything. I would just go with the flow. But because I understand that my energy is quite high during the day than towards evening, I told the person, no, change my break time. In fact, for me, I would even prefer having my break 5 hours into my shifts, because when I go to work, my energy is high. Like, I just want to work. Imagine me going on break after 3 hours of work. I would start feeling very tired, depleted, and what would happen? It would impact my productivity and my output for the day. But because I understand my energy level, I was able to mention it to that person, and immediately they changed that rota. Sometimes it could be something as simple as replying to WhatsApp messages. For me, replying to WhatsApp messages is something that depletes my energy level, because I'm just seated doing nothing, responding to messages. That's not what I want to be doing with my time during peak hours. Peak hours is when I want to be producing. Either I'm making clothes, I'm scripting, I'm talking to clients, I'm doing something major. But at night, I can now relax and be talking on WhatsApp. Now, obviously, that could come off wrongly to some people, because there are some people that when they send you like a WhatsApp message, they want you to respond immediately. Now, I make it quite clear that is not my kind of person. And not because I don't care about maybe the relationship or the person, but because I also have to prioritize my well-being and my goals. If I spend my morning replying to WhatsApp, my day is gone, because towards the end of that day, what am I doing? Nothing. But because I'm focused on maximizing my energy level, I would leave out such tasks for the end of my day. Now, for you, it could even be the opposite. You may be the kind of person that when you wake up in the morning, you just feel so depleted. Now, for you, obviously, you can do things that don't cost you so much energy. Then if towards the middle of the day or towards the end, you have more energy for other activities, then that would be good to do. Now, the last tip is limit the amount of multitasking that you do, especially for women, because there is this stereotype that women are multitaskers. And in this video, we're not going to go into that debate of whether or not they really are. But one thing is, when you are multitasking, especially on active projects, it can deplete your productivity and you may end up making some mistakes that are avoidable. For instance, sometime last week, I was trying to edit a YouTube video, and at the same time, I was trying to book a flight. Now, I almost made a major mistake because my focus was on two different things, two active things. editing video during flights, like which one are you focusing on? Obviously one would suffer. We've glamorized multitasking too much to the point that we don't realize that sometimes it actually impedes on your productivity. Now, multitasking is different from habit stacking. Habit stacking is when you do an active habit with a passive habit. For instance, you are driving and you are listening to a podcast. Obviously, you don't have to do anything to just listen to the podcast whilst driving. Or you are in the gym and you're listening to your favorite music. That is different. That is habit stacking, which is very recommended by productivity experts, which I'm definitely not, but I agree with. However, when you are taking on active projects, it can be too much and it can make you feel extremely overwhelmed. I almost ended this video without including the fact that if you are a woman, you even need this energy management video more than anyone else, because the nature of our cycle would mean that you are more energetic during certain weeks of the month. So taking stock of the 4 cycles that you have would be very helpful to know when you have more energy than other times, because obviously when it's that time of the month, you should give yourself a lot more rest and a lot more grace. You are not lazy, you just need to rest. So besties, that is it for me today about my energy/time management video. I hope you've learned 1 or 2 things. Even me talking, I've learned some things for myself. Now, if you want to book any of my services, as I said, click the link in the description box, and I'm going to be linking up a video that is very similar to this and I believe will be beneficial to you. So until I see you again, besties, stay blessed, remain happy, and bye.